Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
Approaching minimum 2,500, 1,000, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Overspeed. 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 Altitude. Cabin altitude. Engine 1 fire. Engine 2 fire. Engine 3 fire. Landing gear. Brakes. Full lap. Spoilers. 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 Flat. Flat. Overspeed. Overspeed. Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer. Autopilot. Approaching minimum 2,500, 1,000, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Fire failure, fire failure, fire failure, fire failure, fire failure.
Glide slope. Pull up. Don't sink. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Sink rate. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain.
$2,500, 1,000, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Ride slow. Ride slow. Ride slow. Ride slow.
Fire left engine. Fire right engine. Altitude. Overspeed. Overspeed. Stall. 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 Autopilot. Brake. Stabilizer. Cargo smoke. Fire left engine. Fire right engine. Cabin altitude. Landing gear. Rudder trim. Speed brake. Spoilers. Stabilizer motion. Slats. Slat overspeed. APU fire. Full laps.
Sink rate. Pull up. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Don't sink. Too low terrain. Too low gear. Too low flaps. Terrain. Pull up. Glide slope. Glide slope. Too low terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Bank angle. Bank angle. 2,500. 1,000. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Minimums. Approaching minimums.
altitude, cabin altitude, autopilot, fire left engine, fire right engine, overspeed, flat overspeed, stabilizer motion, APU fire, brakes, flap, flat, spoilers, stabilizer, speed brake, landing gear, evacuate, 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 stall, 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 stall.
Headwind, shear, headwind, shear, headwind, shear. Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
1,000, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, minimum, minimum. Autopilot. High speed. Stall warning. Battery. Doors. Duct leak. Engine control. Landing gear. Oil. Smoke. Auto feather. Takeoff. Brakes. Flaps. Trim. Trim. Fail. Windshield. P6. P6.
Glide slope, sink rate. Bank angle, bank angle. Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Too low, flaps. Too low, gear. Too low, terrain. Pull up.
Minimums, 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 approaching minimums, approaching decision height, 2,500, 1,500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Takeoff okay. No takeoff. Trim. No takeoff. Brake. No takeoff. Flat. No takeoff. Spoiler. Throttle.
Too low, flaps. Too low, gear. Too low, terrain.
Trim.
Terrain.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Sink rate, sink rate. Don't sink. Bank angle, bank angle.
High speed. High speed.
Climb, climb now. Climb, climb now. Descend, crossing, descend, descend, crossing, descend,
Descend. Descend.
descend, descend now.
Increase climb. Increase climb. Increase descent. Increase descent.
Maintain vertical speed. Maintain, maintain vertical speed. Crossing, maintain. Monitor vertical speed.
TCAS system test fail. TCAS system test OK.
Traffic. Traffic.
Adjust vertical speed. Adjust.
Clear of conflict. Climb. 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 Crossing. Climb. Climb. Crossing. Climb.
Glide slope, minimums, minimums, approaching minimums, 500, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain. Don't sink. Sink rate. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Bank. Angle. Pitch. Stall. Too low. Turbulence. Recover. Airspeed. Altitude. Autopilot. Caution. Turbulence. Fire. Terrain. Inop. Pull up. Inop.
Engine, fail. Obstacle.
Too low.
Obstacle. V1, rotate.
Wind shear, wind shear.
glide slope, weather, ahead, radio, altitude, approaching, decision, height, 2,500, 2,000, 1,800, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 80, 60, 50, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 13, 12, 11, 10, 5, approaching, minimums of okay. Platform, warning, terrain, warnings, wind shear, terrain, ahead, approaching, angle, attack, wind shear, ahead, instrument, light, slats.
Too low, terrain, radio altimeter.
Pull up. Glide slope.
Wind shear. Computer. OK. External. Failure. Pitch. 1. Input. Failure. Pitch. 2. Input. Failure.
Glide slope. All up. All up.
Sink rate. Terrain. Don't sink. Too low terrain. Too low gear. Too low flap. Too low terrain.
Stop, rudder, and course. Stop, rudder, and course.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps.
Don't sink. Sink rate. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Too low terrain. Too low gear. Too low flaps. Glide slope. Terrain. Pull up. Caution. Terrain.
Traffic. Adjust vertical speed. Adjust. Climb now. Climb now. Climb, crossing, climb. Climb, crossing, climb. Clear of conflict. Descend. descend, descend, crossing, descend, descend, crossing, descend, descend, descend now, descend, descend now, increase, climb, increase, climb, increase, descent, increase, descent, maintain vertical speed, maintain, maintain vertical speed, crossing, maintain, monitor vertical speed, TCAS test, pass, TCAS test, fail.
1,500, 400, 300, 200, 150, 40, 30, 20, 10.
2,500, 1,000, 500, 400, 300, 200, 150, 40, 30, 20, 10. 1,500, 40, 30, 20, 10. Terrain ahead. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Bank angle, bank angle. Altimeter setting, altimeter setting. Terrain, too low gear, too low flaps, sink rate. Terrain ahead, pull up, pull up.
Sink rate. Pull up terrain. Too low terrain. Too low gear. Too low flaps. Minimum 200, 150, 40, 30, 20, 10. Don't sink.
Don't think.
Bank angle, bank angle. Bank angle, bank angle, bank angle.
Terrain, terrain, pull up.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear, wind. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull.
Terrain ahead, pull up. Terrain ahead, pull up. Terrain ahead, pull up. Terrain ahead, pull up.
Realistic input. Realistic input. Realistic input. Realistic input.
Too low. Terrain. Too low.
Flaps. Terrain. 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 1,000.
500, 400, 300, 200, 100.
80, 60, 50, 40, 35, 30, 20, 10. Retard. 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 Bank angle. Bank angle. Avoid terrain. Avoid terrain. Avoid terrain. Avoid terrain. Gear not down. Gear not down. Gear not down. Gear not down. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Too low, cooler. Too low, cooler. Too low, cooler. Too low, cooler. Don't click, don't click, don't click, don't click. Overspeed. 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 Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Terrain again. Hold up. Terrain again. Hold up.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Don't sink. Terrain. Terrain.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flap.
2,500, 1,500, 400, 300, 200, 150, 40, 30, 20, 10.
All out. All out. All out.
Terrain, fly up. Terrain, terrain, fly up.
Spoilers not armed. Spoilers not armed. Hydraulic. Hydraulic. Too low, full lap. Too low, full lap. Too low, gear. Too low, gear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
1,500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
APU fire.
Auto throttle.